It has finished. Altrincham 1, Wrexham 2 in front of the BT Sport cameras in the Vanarama National League. And we're talking to Altrincham manager Phil Parkinson. Phil, a disappointing result, but absolutely everything about today has been superb, I think.
Yeah, inspiring performance from the players, inspiring turnout from the fans, the way they got behind us all the way through as well. Biggest attendance since the 1960s, I believe. So just everything about today had a bit of wow factor, a bit of X factor, as I like to call it. I'm just desperately disappointed that we couldn't get a draw. I thought a draw we deserved, or minimum we could have cut, maximum that I thought we could have come out with there against a team that's probably going to win the league.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a long time before we see Wrexham here in a league fixture. But we scored a magnificent goal. Miles Welch-Hayes had a terrific game. It's a superb strike, and I suppose Wrexham, they've got the resources. They can bring on a Dolby, and he can make a difference. And they did respond very, very well. But that's taking nothing away from our performance.
No, Miles deservedly got man of the match, didn't he? I don't always agree with the man of the match choices. Without a shadow of a doubt, in my mind, he got that, not just because of his goal as well. And by the way, I thought the goal was the best passage of play in the game. We switched play, and you saw two teams score from the styles of play that they use. So obviously they're big into the set pieces, restarts, which they're ever so good at. Best in the division, in fact. And I thought we weathered the majority of that really well. But the bit we do well, the open play and the creation of chances, that resulted in our goal as well. So to be able to do that against Wrexham, I don't remember too often that we've been able to do that, to open them up like that. And we had enough chances to draw the game with the first half. Jordan hitting the bar, Tyrese Sinclair going through it at the start of the second half. I felt he had a great game as well, by the way, but I thought he should have done slightly better with that. And another day, we might have been in a different position if we score them goals, but we weren't. And when you play the best, they punish you when they get an opportunity, and they certainly did.
And full credit to Jordan Hume and Tyrese Sinclair, because they combined really well. The flick through from Tyrese to Jordan and the finish, he was ever so unlucky. And sometimes you think when it hits the bar, those have got to go in Altrincham versus Wrexham.
Absolutely, they've got to go in. And how many times have I stood in front of you and said we haven't got what we deserved? And I think that's the bit that I'll always take heart from the performances. I always say that we're big into that. We know where we sit in this league. Budgetary-wise, people look at it as excuses. It's not. It's a fact. We're down there budgetary-wise, but as a community, as a football club, as a team in that changing room, we're certainly not a bottom three team, are we? We're, in terms of resources, we're a team that are going to push teams like Wrexham all the way. We saw it against Chesterfield the other week. I wasn't entirely happy with the Boreham Wood performance, but again, a below par performance. We haven't been beaten heavily, so we're playing all the best teams. You get punished if you're not perfect. We've got to find a way of being a little bit better in terms of focused all the way through a game. We can't have a drop-off. We can't afford that. And we'll get better. And as I said to you at the start, when I see performances like that, like Chesterfield, we can maintain that when we play the teams that are going to be in and around us. We'll get positive results again, and hopefully we'll get on that run that we all are desperate to get back on top of.
We really restricted Wrexham in terms of conceding throws, which is very important against them, and corners. But in the second half, I'm sure you were telling the lads they're going to really come at us now.
Yeah, well, do you know what? I didn't think they would do too much more, because I felt we weathered so much, but I felt we dropped off, not them. I felt they were able to maintain their levels and we weren't able to maintain that. And that's having new players coming in who haven't had loads of minutes, that drop off in terms of stamina. That definitely affected us. We weren't able to get a foothold. And then where you were saying we reduced them to very few, start of the first half, I think we had about 3 or 4 within the opening 5 minutes. And then I said to the lads, if you can get to 15 minutes, you're going to have a great chance to go on and get something out of this game. Unfortunately, we conceded on 15 minutes. And then you get back in it, and that's where you're so vulnerable the next 5 minutes. It's sort of... I could put the lottery numbers on, I'd win in these situations, because you can just sort of forecast it. I'm sure you guys can as well. And that's what's frustrating. You know what potentially can happen. Can you stop it? But the lads have given everything. There's no way I'm going to be critical of them today. These are capable of absolutely pulverising teams, 5, 6s. We've had it done to us when we played well and still been beat by them scores. So I'll take a lot of heart from new players coming in, the performance levels that we were able to hit so early that I didn't think we would be able to. The game plan was superb in terms of it. First half, we nailed it. And again, if Jordan scores that, it's a different story in terms of are we going to go on from strength to strength. But you're playing the best in the division. And like I said, they punish you when they get opportunities. They've got outstanding players. They've got a manager who's got a pedigree of winning leagues. So everything's in place for them to go again. And we're building. And when you see performances like that, you know that we'll keep improving.
It's possible that we've played the best team we'll ever play in the National League today, because I'm not too sure there's another Wrexham in the wings.
No, I'm not sure about that. And where we're saying about the crowds from 1960, I don't think Altrincham have ever played teams like this. So it's the landscape's changed in this division. The investment that's going in is crazy. It's brilliant as well, the publicity that we're getting. I think we were worldwide, weren't we, today? Was it on ESPN as well? So the coverage we're getting is phenomenal, and long may it continue. We all want to be a part of it. It's a very special day for a number of reasons. Very disappointing with the result, but I'll take so much heart from the performance.
And I must say a word about Isaac Marriott. He covered every blade of grass out there, and he's an absolute Rottweiler.
Yeah, it's a good way. I called him a Jack Russell, I think, a Yorkshire Terrier, but he's brilliant for us, isn't he? But Josh Lundstrom in there, them two absolutely complement each other, and they did exactly what we sort of knew we needed to do. So when you looked at the midfield we had when we were part-time compared to what we've got now, it's a different dynamic. It's full of athleticism, full of tenacity. We probably, not to take anything away from Josh and Isaac on the ball, but probably had more ball players in terms of as a part-time outfit, but as a full-time outfit, they've got that athleticism, that tenacity, but they can play as well. They can absolutely play, so I'm not giving them any discredit in that way. But they give us exactly what they need. They give us that bite in midfield, and Isaac with Lunny have been outstanding this season.
And finally, Phil, we can forget about the league now for a week. A big game down in Berkshire next week in the FA Trophy against Bracknell Town. Yeah,
an absolute massive game for us. I mean, if we can keep the cup competitions alive, so people will frown upon the Cheshire Senior Cup, I certainly don't. I think it's an opportunity to win some silverware, and so's the trophy. It's a lot more difficult in the trophy, obviously. Bracknell will be a really tough team. We're going to go watch them on Tuesday, myself and Neil. So we've got 2 long journeys next week. But listen, it's one we're really looking forward to. And we've got a group in there. If we can hit anywhere near them levels, then listen, we'll see how far we'll go in that competition.
That's the thoughts of Altrincham manager Phil Parkinson after a terrific day at the J. Davidson Stadium. It's a disappointing result, Altrincham 1, Wrexham 2, but a fantastic occasion and a brilliant performance by the team.